Hello and good morning. I wanted to share a spiritual slash biblical thought today about following divine breadcrumbs. My husband and I have been married for about 7 years now. We have moved so much. We've had so many big life changes ever since the beginning of our marriage. Each time that we have made an enormous life-changing decision, it started out with just someone's offhand comment. It started with a random thought. It was just these tiny little moments that sparked something in us and woke us up to a different reality, to a different possibility. It's just been crazy where they have led, things we never would have thought, possibilities we never would have supposed for ourselves. And it's been beautiful every single time, not without challenges, of course. I love that God works that way. I love that He requires that we are still enough and quiet enough to notice just the tiniest little details that He gives us to follow. And that's why I love the analogy of the breadcrumbs. It's just this little trail that He leaves for us. It's very rarely is it going to be just this flash of inspiration, this just big dynamic occurrence where we know what we're going to do and what's going to happen for us. More often than not, it really is just this still small voice. When we hear something, when we see something, we notice some synchronicities, and we have the courage to follow that, to listen to that. I really believe that everything just happens on hunches. Like, you just have this thought, you have this idea, you have this little hunch, and that's how God works in you. And you follow that. You be brave enough to take that step, even if it seems illogical, even if it's completely contradictory to the plan that you had previously. Just follow it. Just see what happened. God works in hunches. God works in breadcrumbs. And it's the most beautiful thing if you have the courage to follow it. So I guess if you ever feel that God is not speaking to you, if you ever feel that God has forgotten you, I would really invite you to be intentional throughout your day. Begin the day with a prayer and then be in prayer all throughout the day and ask God directly for those blessings, for those little bits of guidance, for the synchronicities, to be led. He's not going to ignore those righteous prayers, those righteous desires. Allow yourself to be open to possibilities. I really believe that that is huge. We get this idea in our head that life has to be one way. We want something and we expect it to be accomplished, and we expect it to be accomplished in a very specific way. And the key to receiving revelation, to receiving personal inspiration from God, I really think is just to be open. Do not limit the Lord. Be open to what He has in store for you, to the endless possibilities that He can construct out of nothing. We have these finite ideas, but He is infinite. And so as you're looking to be led, as you're pleading for guidance and direction, it's key to remain open, to not be rigid in your ideas, to not be rigid in the way that the miracles happen. Just allow Him to work His magic, and then sit back and wait for the hand of the Lord to be revealed. Sit back in your stillness, in your quiet assurance that He will keep His word to you, and then wait and see what happens. Wait and see what kind of synchronicities pop up, what sort of people come out of the woodwork to help you. It's amazing the doors that it opens. Often I've heard this analogy of the walls of Jericho, where our promised land, everything that we want and desire, is on the other side of the wall of Jericho. And we are the ones that build our personal walls of Jericho, whether that's through resentment or fear, lack of self-worth, being in this victim mentality where life is happening to you and not for you, living in fear, not having faith. I think that these things really build our walls of Jericho. And so by the time we realize we have a problem, by the time we realize that there is a wall in the first place, it looks impenetrable. It's very imposing. We don't see a way to knock it down, to get through to the other side, to the things that we want. But the interesting thing about the walls is that all they require to fall down is our word. All that they require to crumble to the earth is our deciding that they will. God stands at the ready to bring to pass miracles in our life. God is waiting to bless us with every righteous desire of our hearts. And all we have to do is involve him and decide that we want these walls broken down, and he does it. In his timing, under grace, in the right way, he does it all. And it really all just comes down to our awareness of what we have created, what the lack that we have imposed upon ourselves through our habits and our negative and untrue beliefs. We have to acknowledge it exists. We have to be awake to the truth and the reality of the situation, but then deciding that it is not true for us anymore. We decide we don't want to live that way. We decide we want to be someone else. And God opens the doors. He knocks down the walls, and we enter the promised land. We enter the life of our dreams. And so much is brought into existence. Everything is brought into existence because of our words, because of our beliefs about what is possible for us. Take a moment to contemplate your own personal walls of Jericho and what ways you might be limiting the Lord in your life. Take a moment to consider all the ways that God is waiting to bless you if you simply allow it. And watch the walls come crumbling down. He wants nothing more than for all of us to enjoy our promised land, whatever that looks like for us. We all have such different desires. We all have such different dreams and goals, and those are divinely placed on our hearts. Those are placed on our hearts, in our souls, by God, for us to realize, for us to bring to pass in this physical realm. And so if you can dream it, you can do it. Yeah, it's true. If it's there, if you can conceive of it, it is because it is possible for you. Remember that. Believe that it is true. Call on God for help, and then stand back in patience and in trust. Watch and see the way the walls come crumbling down in the best way for you. I love you. Remember that God loves you. Have a great day.